Hey, it's me. It's animated me. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and it's time for another episode of Completed It. Movie reviews, pop culture, celebrity guests, and all that good stuff. Oh, and my good friend over there, Sasha Alari, is my co-host. Hey, Satch, hit the titles, brother. Welcome everybody back to Completed It, and yes, that again was us watching our intro. We like to do that every now and again. I'm your host Andy Burrows, and as you can see, I am joined by two illustrious co-hosts today. One of them not being Sasha. He has not seen the movie we are about to talk about. He wasn't in bed. He wasn't asleep again. Don't worry. I'm joined by Neil and Mr. Jonathan Noakes. Boys, how are we doing?
Too
Doing
bad,
well, sir.
thanks.
We are back for another movie review, and as you can see behind Mr. Jonathan Noakes, we are here to talk Jurassic World Rebirth. It's been out just about a week now, we'll say. It's this we sit here on this is coming out on a Thursday afternoon. The movie's been out for a week,
A week in a day.
a week and a day. Over the opening weekend, $91.5 million this movie made. Um, the reviews are mixed, to say the least. So here we are at Completed It to give our review. So on Monday, we done Marvelous Monday. And if you saw Jonathan's take on Iron Man 3, and I was like, whoa, that's a bit of a blunt review. Let me give you mine very quickly on Jurassic World Rebirth. It was fucking shit. Done. What I don't know what's happened to this franchise. I don't know what they've done. And bearing in mind that Michael Crichton was on this movie, who done the Jurassic Park original movie. This to me now is a franchise that should be like the dinosaurs, extinct. Don't make any more Jurassic Park movies, even though it pains me to say I've heard since this has come out that there's potentially going to be two more. It's going to be a bit like they done with the last set of Jurassic Park movies. This, for me, the dinosaurs looked like they could have been in an alien movie. The green screen work was quite possibly some of the worst. And I get it, it's a dinosaur movie, believe it or not. I do get that. Some of the green screen work on this film was terrible, absolute laughable. I thought at one point I could actually see the green screen. I'm thinking, fuck me, they forgot to actually edit this. There's an actual green screen there. The storyline basically was people going to an island to get three sets of DNA from dinosaurs to help cure a medical disease.
Yeah.
So again, it wasn't even really explained that well. Um, I just didn't like this movie, boys. I'm sorry. I mean, you guys might be in a different camp to me. I'm not quite sure where this could go, although I think I might by looking at your facial expressions. Um, John, we'll go to Neil first. You and I went and watched it together, so we'll get your. I kind of want
Yeah, okay.
but for everyone watching, completed it today. Neil, Jurassic Park Rebirth, my friend. Should this be a rebirth that never happened? Should these people never have got together and consumed another Jurassic Park movie, my friend? I think I can tell by the expression on your face you were not a fan of this movie, my friend. I could be wrong. Tell us.
I never like to call a film shit.
This is true. You told us this some weeks
I
ago.
don't like to. I'd say if it weren't good, it just weren't for me.
Yeah.
This film weren't for me. And the thing is, like for context, I think Jurassic Park 1, greatest movie ever made. It's not my favorite movie, but I think it's the
Great.
greatest movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I, and you talk about the green screen, and I was literally thinking about it. Jurassic Park 1. There's a moment in the film when they're in the cars and the T-Rex is first kind of coming out of its enclosure. There's a moment in that film where they literally go from animatronic
Mm-hmm.
to CGI. And I am like, if you didn't know, you would think either it's all CGI or it's all animatronic because there's no way that you're like that transition is perfect.
Yeah.
to go from that
Bearing
to
in mind when that
now,
movie was made.
yeah, to go from that in what was it, 93?
Hmm.
To go from 1993 that to 2025 and this, it's Jurassic Park is the Manchester United of film franchises. There was a moment in time when you were the treble winners and European champions, right? And right now, you are finishing 15th in the league. That's Jurassic World Rebirth. Because
Ooh.
there was there's nothing about this movie that either A hasn't been done in another Jurassic Park slash World movie,
Hmm.
or B is worth revisiting the franchise for. The whole thing of like, okay, we're gonna cure diseases. I'm like, okay, we'll see where that gets us. But I mean, that's literally the plot to Deep Blue Sea,
Yeah.
right?
But even the plot in this movie was terrible. There was
Yeah,
no
it
like, oh,
it
well,
was
let's
not.
just go and get DNA from these dinosaurs that are from the original park, that they were
Mm,
crossbred and they were fucked up and they were stuck on
right?
this island. They've been there since the first Jurassic Park. No
Hmm.
one's ever been there. No one's mentioned them. No one's gone there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Literally, this island has never been spoken about ever. And all of a sudden, oh, they need DNA from these three dinosaurs to solve this medical fucking mystery that they don't really explain in the movie.
yeah. And you know what? Are we gonna discuss spoilers in there?
But yeah, go for it. I don't care. It's that shit. I don't care.
Yeah. The thing with the tiny little dinosaur, right? That goes in the
Oh, the
little girl's
pet. Yeah,
backpack,
that follows the girl
Right.
right?
around.
Yeah, Camp Jurassic cartoon that come out. Sorry.
Yeah. Right now, that little dinosaur that goes in the girl's backpack, right?
Friend.
Dumbest shit ever, right? Because you spend the whole opening of the movie telling us that dinosaurs can only exist in certain places, and
Hmm.
and the United States ain't one of them.
No, you ain't putting a yeah.
And she's got the dinosaur in her backpack at the end of the film. So I'm like, so
But
so
even at the
you're just
start
gonna
of the
let this
film,
girl take
even
it
at the
and kill
start of
it?
the film, when they're driving through New York and the dinosaur's laying on the street,
Yeah, and the
no
dinosaur's
one, no
dying,
one's, no
right?
one's batting a fucking eyelid. Everyone's just like, "There's a dinosaur dying on the street." No one's like, "Oh, that's a bit weird. There's a fucking dinosaur in the
I
middle of
mean,
it."
in truth, like humanity, we're very, especially now, we're very quick on the like, the phase is over. And if
Yeah.
we're talking about it, you think since the Lost World, Jurassic Park 2, right?
Hmm.
We've seen dinosaurs in cities. So it's like I'm like
So this was
the
5 years
novelty is worn
post
off.
Jurassic Park World Dominion. What was it called?
Dominion.
Yeah, this
I
was
mean,
5
yeah.
years post that. This
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Since 5 years post that, and all the dinosaurs that were on like, like the Western world have all died off, and it's just like, oh,
Mm.
you gotta be really close to the equator, you know, this site, this hidden site.
That had been there since 1993
Yeah. But here's the weird thing about it,
when the
right?
original, well, not the when the original movie come out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but you know what? Here's the really weird thing about it. So they say that the start of the movie, they say is 12 years ago.
Hmm.
So they're like, okay, 12 years ago. And in my head, I'm like, okay, but Jurassic Park 1 went 12 years ago. I was like, Jurassic Park 1 was a long longer than 12 years. I was like, okay, so this is like, I'm like, this is before Jurassic World, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but this island, and like, this is basically them building up to do Jurassic World. So this is just before Jurassic World. So this is when they were gearing up, because there is a little callback to like, in Jurassic World, what do they call it? The Indominus Rex or whatever they
Yeah.
call it. Right. So it is a callback to that. But I was like, you got you got sweets and chocolates and candy in wrapping paper that did not exist 12 years ago.
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know about that one.
But then they've got what's his name? The guy, the scientist man.
Oh,
And
the
he was. They're saying he was trained.
Lord Bridgerton.
Yeah, exactly. And but they're saying that he was under
Alan Grant.
Alan Grant's
Yeah,
tutorship, and I'm
I
thinking to
know.
myself, hang on a fucking minute.
Is
You
he the
look about
kid from Jurassic Park 3?
exactly. And I'm like, is that a little callback to Jurassic Park 3, or am I just being stupid?
I
Because
I
he doesn't
thought
look old
so.
enough to be around when Alan Grant was originally in the original movie when it's set. And I'm
Yeah,
thinking to myself, that doesn't, in
that
my head,
doesn't
straight away, I'm
track.
thinking, that doesn't add up. Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
fucking
So
stupid.
I think he's not the same character, but I just think he was trained under Alan
Yeah,
Grant.
but they were trying to like put references in there that didn't need to be put
Hmm.
in. And one thing as well, there's like they mentioned that they're going to this island
Yeah.
where no one's ever dared go. You can't go there. It's at the top of the equator. This island has been there since the original park opened.
Mhm.
Then these guys and girls and Scarlett Johansson, etc., her character, they go to this island. When they're about 30 miles away from this island, they find a boat with
Mhm.
two kids and an adult in it.
Three kids, no,
And
three
it's
kids
boy,
and an
yeah,
adult.
three kids and an adult. One's the boyfriend, and I'm thinking to myself straight away, I'm thinking, hang on, no one's dared go near this island ever. And they're just like, oh, what you doing out here, mate? And he's just like, oh, we do this every year. We're going to
Yeah, we
the
sail.
Caribbean. We sail to
Yeah,
the Caribbean or something. I can't remember what he said. He said something like that. And I'm thinking, I
yeah.
said, I'm not great at geography, but you're near the fucking equator. You're going the wrong way. You know,
You
I'm
are
thinking,
off
yeah,
course,
you
homeboy.
are off course, my
Hmm.
friend. Nothing in this movie made sense. The dinosaurs looked terrible. The
Hmm.
CGI and the way they done the dinosaurs, I thought I was watching like the dinosaur at the end. Everyone, I've seen this so much on social media. I was like, I'm watching the Alien movie. I'm expecting Sigourney Weaver to come out in a minute. I'm
Get away
expecting
from her,
Ripley.
you
Yeah,
bitch.
I'm expecting Ripley to come out going, I've been looking for you. You're on this fucking island. I mean, John, let's get to you, mate. We watched it together. You and I went last week and watched it. And I think to a man, everyone, the people that were sitting in front of us when the movie ended, everyone just stood up and went, what the fuck did we just watch? I don't know. Are we missing something here, John? Because I've heard a few people say, "Oh, these Facebook groups that you're on, or these you follow these pages on Twitter, and they're like, good movie, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10." And I'm like,
Dude,
hang on a
I've
minute.
got slaughtered on TikTok for my comments.
What did you what did go on? Give us your evaluation and what have you
Well,
been
it's
doing on
like the
TikTok?
first half an hour, you looked at me and I looked at you, and we both just started fucking laughing. I was like, this ain't a Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movie. It's more like a Doug McClure Journey to Centre of the Earth type thing, where they have to go to. That's what they should have done, like a
Land of
Jules
the
Verne, like a
Lost. Land
like a
of the
Jules
Lost.
Verne type thing. They could have cut the Jurassic shit out of it and just had Scarlett Johansson and these characters go to the center of the earth or beyond the equator to find some dinosaur monster DNA to cure normal disease like cancer or something like that. That would have been absolutely spot on fine. But
Hmm.
no, they have to fucking do this shite.
The only good thing about this movie, and in the end they overkilled it, was that I loved hearing the theme tune again in IMAX or iSense, John,
Oh no,
whenever we
I
went.
reckon they
But
just
they done
flipped
it
that
too
in there.
much. Every
But
other scene was they were playing the Jurassic Park, and I'm like, fucking hell,
the
look,
the thing is though, that with that D-Rex, they were hyping up so much in the trailers and that, you see fuck all of it.
yeah, two,
2 minutes.
twice.
Motherfuckers in this film for
Twice.
less than 2 minutes,
Yeah,
right? And
And
you know what pissed me off, right? He looked like a cross between like do you know what? He looked like the Pred alien without the dreadlocks or the man the freaking mandibles, right? Because I was like watching this film, and I'm like, okay, I really, really want to see this thing because they haven't shown you how big this
hmm
thing. They've been hiding it. They treat this thing like it was the shark in Jaws. You just see little snippets of it, and then you still didn't see the whole thing, the whole movie. And then when you did see it, because they were like, oh, it's like they were doing mutants, is muted, they were crossbreeding things, right? And then it looks like the bit in Alien Resurrection when they're trying to clone Rip,
Honestly, it was exactly
right?
the
oh, what
same.
that female hybrid thing?
Right.
Oh,
And I'm just like, you've taken things from essentially like you've taken bits and pieces from different movies, but you've taken all the bad bits or all the not great bits from the not great movies in great movie franchises and then slugged them all together. And the
Hmm.
thing is, one thing that gets me is that they keep making Jurassic Park slash Jurassic World films, and because I read the book, I read Jurassic Park, the actual novel, and every film that they make, they take a little bit from Jurassic Park that wasn't in a previous movie and
Hmm.
then throw it out there. Like the bit when they're all on the boat and they're trying to row away from the T-Rex, that's in Jurassic Park 1, the story.
The bit at the end when they're in the shop or whatever it was, and that's Jurassic Park, the first one. You know, when the kids are hiding under
Yeah, when the
in the
kids are hiding
yeah,
in the kitchen.
the end.
Yeah.
This bit, this I'm thinking you've literally just tried to recreate the first Jurassic
Yeah,
Park
they just took all
badly.
they cherry picked bits and pieces from each other Jurassic
Mm,
Park movies and then threw it together. And I think it's disappointing because if you just look at the cast, if somebody was like, "Oh, they made they're making a movie. Oh, who's in it? Scarlett Johansson. Oh, she can act. She's pretty good. Ah, the the guy from Bridgerton. And I'm like, oh, I've seen him in some stuff. He do well. Oh, Marshall Ali. And it's, oh, he's all
Green
right.
Book,
He's all
yeah.
right. And it was like, oh, the guy from Lincoln Lawyer. I was like, oh, okay. You got yourself a cast here, right? I'm happy to watch this. And then you've got freaking you've got Deadpool, Francis from Deadpool. Forgive me, I can't remember everyone's name at this exact moment, right? But you've got all of these actors, and I'm like, all of these actors are pretty good in their fields. They're pretty good for what they do. And then you throw them in the movie, and they're like, and it's a Jurassic Park movie. Cool. In every Jurassic Park movie, the Raptors have been the thing to fear.
Hmm.
And they're in it for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And even after they're in it for 20 seconds, you have a big version of a pterodactyl kill one and then fly off with
Flies
it.
off with one, yeah.
And I'm like, but raptors hunt in packs, so there's supposed to be three of them. And I saw two of them clearly.
Yeah, while the dude's
So
having a piss.
the dude's having a piss, and I'm like, okay,
Mm.
he eats one. Are you saying that the other two just ran away? They didn't just run, stop, turn back, and be like, "Yo, we left the bucket of HFC, human fried chicken. Go get it back, right?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, there was so many missed opportunities with this film,
Yeah.
and
Big
I feel
time.
like we just need to be done now. We just need to be done.
Yeah,
We've got
unfortunately,
seven movies
from what I'm
in
hearing though,
30 years.
I think there's gonna be two more.
It's like what obviously this island is like the defunct dinosaurs that Hammond thought, nah, fuck it, let's just sling them there. Why don't they do a backstory on like a 30-year-old Hammond and his partner from the first Jurassic World movie and how they got to hate each other? Because obviously, I think Hammond wanted to do good and the other geese wanted to do bad. They
Yeah.
must have been. Why can't they do something like that? But no one
You
wants to
know
see
what?
that. It's fucking-
One thing as well, Neil, that John said to me during the movie, interested to get your views. I agreed with him, and look, I've mentioned her on Marvelous Monday. Scarlett
Right.
Johansson
Mhm.
looked so out of place in this movie, it wasn't even funny. John said it to me as the movie was going on. I think it was about an hour in. He went, Burrows, you said Scarlett Johansson looks really out of place here. And I went,
It's
do you
made
know
me feel
what?
uncomfortable.
You're right.
You
She
know
looked
what?
out of place in that movie.
You know what the issue is? Well, here's the problem. This film has made her the highest paid female lead
Mm,
film,
of all time.
right? And then like of all time, I think it is.
Mm,
Or maybe
yeah,
of
I
the
saw it.
year or of all time. But this film pushed her to that top. And I'm like, okay, cool, fine. But you know what it is? She is a great actress. She really, really is, right? You see her outside of like Avengers and outside of this. She's a very, very good actress. She's very accomplished. She knows what she's doing when she's in front of a camera. But not everybody can do every role and do it justice. Like it just doesn't work. Her in this role, it doesn't work because she doesn't have the
Alan Grant effect.
yes. She doesn't have the there's nothing about her that makes you believe yeah, I can believe you're a mercenary,
Mm.
right?
They tried to bring her in as like a female John Wick, as like she's never lost, she kicks everyone's ass, and I'm thinking, yeah, but
I mean, one thing that they did do, and I will give them credit for this, one thing that they did do was they had it where when her and Mashallah Ali were talking, and they talk about the fact that like they've both experienced some serious loss,
mm,
and it's like they're making them vulnerable.
hmm
And I think that, you know, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, right? My heroes did not have vulnerable sides, right?
mm,
We had you had the one masculine tear that come down during a funeral of some character, and that was it. But so that vulnerability it works great, but the problem is there was nothing actiony about them that made up for it. In
mm.
fact, do you know what this film reminds me of? Thinking about it now, it reminds me of Peter Jackson's King Kong, just not as good.
Nowhere near as good.
It's like because what do you think? Peter Jackson's King Kong, right? They all get on a boat,
Hmm
they head to an island,
Where they shouldn't be. Yeah.
right? And things go awry. And that is exactly what happens in this one.
Mm.
They all get on a boat, they go to island, things go awry. Also, there was a clip in the trailer that's not in the film that I was like, why did you take that out? Right? There's a bit where she's talking when they're talking about like, oh, the big sea dinosaur and all the little dinosaurs that swim around it that help it hunt. And they're like, oh, they do this, they do this, they do this. And she's like, none of that sounds good.
Mm.
Like, where was that in the
Yeah.
film? It weren't there, right? The only thing that Scarlett Johansson did in that movie that I was like, I like that, was when I'm gonna continue to call him Lord Bridgerton because I can't remember his real name.
Hmm.
Right, I believe his name is Jonathan something, but I can't remember his real name, so forgive me on that one. But when he's like, "Oh, let me take the shot," and then she takes him to the front of the ship, and she's like,
Jonathan
"You
Bailey.
gotta do this, this, this," and Jonathan Bailey, yeah. When she's like, "Jonathan, you gonna have to do this, 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 and this to take that shot,"
And he's like, nope.
and he's like, "You know what? You take the shot."
Yeah,
I was like, "That was funny."
I get
But
it.
other than that, there was nothing like you could have in makeup. You could have given her a scar, a bullet wound,
That's
something
the
to
that was
say,
the, oh, you've literally come on to there was nothing in this movie like, at one point where they if you look back the original Jurassic Park movies, they're battered, their clothes are fucking absolutely.
yeah.
This movie, no one's got any real bumps on them, no one's got any real great. There's a couple of, but it's nothing like
There was no blood,
there's
really
no
and
not
truly. There
much.
was no blood
Yeah,
in the
people are
movie.
getting eaten by dinosaurs, and one dinosaur he can't even break a rubber dinghy where a little girl's hiding underneath it, and you're thinking, come on, man, fucking hell, you've made this big monster.
T Rex, you made the
Yeah,
T
and
Rex.
the little girl is literally beating you with a rubber dinghy. That he still couldn't bite at the end, even when he had it, because it pinged back into the water and they all got in it.
But one thing I will say about that is I actually think that that was intentional. I don't think it was like, oh, to say like, oh, the T Rex is dumb.
I
I
know,
think
but
it
it's
was
a
to do with the fact that they
dinosaur.
were like, if you're going to an island where
Yeah, I know you need to. Yeah, but, oh, I don't know,
dinosaurs exist,
man.
you need
It's
to
just,
make your, basically you need to make your rubber dinghy bite proof.
yeah,
So that I was like, okay, I'm cool with that.
from a dinosaur. I get it.
Neil, you made a good point. Sorry, Andy. Could I
Yeah,
just
no, go,
say
go,
something?
go. Yeah, of course,
You
man.
made a good point about the D-Rex and like Jaws.
Yeah.
What you just told me about him taking a shot and her taking a shot, she kind of trying to act a bit too Quint in this film, and she couldn't pull it off. And like in Jaws, they built up the shark. I think the film's only on for a couple of hours, but I only think you see the shark in it for like 20 minutes. They build it and build it up, and at the
Less than
end,
20
it's
minutes.
less than 20 minutes, is it?
Less than 20 minutes that
Oh,
you see the shark in Jaws.
see, that's what they should have done with the D-Rex. They should have had a massive battle at the end, and what we get is like you might as well just have a wrestling ring with like no one in it, and the lights go off, and that's it.
Sounds like
Yeah.
AEW. Sounds like AEW.
See that?
Sorry, John. Sorry, John. Boys, wrapping this up. Do we think that the Jurassic World Park, whatever we're fucking calling it these days, is it dead in the water? Should it be dead in the water? Because everything I've read since,
Well,
nothing's been confirmed.
that's
But
two different questions, though.
I
I,
think it
I
should be,
think I
but
think it should be done.
It
But
should be done,
it's in
but
and this
it's got one more.
this is coming out on a Thursday. Bearing in mind, so the opening weekend it weighed over 91.
Yeah,
I've got it. Yeah, 91 million. $91.5 million in its opening. So we've said
I
this at the time of
believe.
this podcast. They're going to make
Yeah,
it for the name alone. They've
I
made,
believe that
yeah,
it made. Well, I believe that we're doing this on Thursday. I believe that it came out
last Wednesday.
Friday or
When did we go, John? Last Wednesday.
you saw it Wednesday.
yeah.
So I
Yeah, we
believe
saw
that
it
on
Wednesday.
Friday I believe that over the last weekend it came out in China
Right.
and did pretty good numbers. So I think there's probably, if
Oh.
it continues the way it is, there's probably one more
Yeah, because
Jurassic
the island, there's still
left in it.
dinosaurs on that island. It's
I
like they're gonna.
heard
I
it's
don't know.
made over 300 million worldwide so far, so I think
Yeah.
it's probably going to break the 600-700 million mark, and to them that's a profit, and they'll just do
And
another
it had a
one.
budget of 180 million. So cha-ching.
Is
Well,
that
that's
all?
the thing. So if it had a budget of 180 million, as long as it makes more than 400 million, it's a
Hmm.
profit. So if it beats 600 million, there's probably going to be another one.
Oh God.
So you look at something like this and
Mm.
something completely different, like Disney Stitch, that's been out for a month. That's made over $1 billion, I think.
Mhm.
I know it's a completely different franchise, but then when you look at how much the budget cost on this film and knowing full well that they're going to make it back, why couldn't they just spend an extra 100 million on special effects?
Oh, you know the scene? I know we're wrapping up. But you know the scene when they're abseiling down the side of the.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh my! I genuinely thought that's where I was going to see the green screen. I genuinely thought they forgot to that somehow this has made it to the movie. There's going to be a green screen. I'm going to see it in a minute. Looked like one of the. I don't think I've seen anything that bad. Even when Neil, you mentioned it. We grew up in the 80s and 90s and stuff like. I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. Even the effects I saw back then were not as bad as this movie. The effects in the Jurassic Park movie have got to be on point. You mentioned the first one, Neil, earlier,
Yeah.
and if you didn't know the changes in that movie, you wouldn't have been able to tell. And it on Sky right now, they've got the Jurassic Park channel. So I watched
Yeah.
the original movie last night,
Mhm.
and I was watching this thinking these effects and everything they do in this movie is better in 1993 than that I've just watched in 2025. There's no way someone's watched this movie back before it's been released and gone, yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's good. That doesn't look, I get it. It's a dinosaur movie. It's not going to be, they can't exactly go somewhere and actually shoot it. I
Mhm.
get it. It's a green screen, but don't make it this bad because this is some of the worst effects, CGI, everything, green screen work that we review, the new Captain America movie.
Yeah.
That was only bad because it was shot over a couple of years and they had to do reshoots, and you could tell
And
where they had done it. This movie, I don't know what their excuse is. You had a budget of 180 million. Spend some more on your effects. The abseiling scene for me, oh my God.
the
You
thing
look at
is, and I'm going to add to this, right? Universal, you do not have that many franchises.
True.
You don't have enough franchises to be messing up your big, the
Your
big
blockbuster.
hitters.
Yeah.
I would say make one more Jurassic Park movie just to wrap everything up. So the end of the movie, we'll see the end of the dinosaurs. They'll be done. There'll be no more after this, right? Do it right. Because, we brought up Jaws and we brought up Jurassic Park, the first one, right? There's nothing in the 6 Jurassic Park / Jurassic World movies that have come since that first film that match up to the rippling water effect.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing the T-Rex is coming, that rippling water effect, that is synonymous with like, the durden
Yeah.
of Jaws coming. It's that, and it's that moment of just like, oh my God, what is happening? What is coming? Nothing in the 6 movies since then has equaled that. And it becomes that thing of, the law of what diminishing returns. And it's just like, we're diminishing product now.
Yeah.
Well, like Andy said about the Raptors in the first one, I think the second one's probably not on par with the first one, but it's just as good as all the others.
Well,
And
that's
that's
the
what the
thing.
Lost World was about.
Yeah,
But,
using the Lost World. Sorry to interrupt you, John.
no, no, I reckon my Jurassic Parks. I mean, I like Jurassic World, the first one with Chris Pratt. That's fine. But to me, my Jurassic Parks were Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
No.
Mm.
See,
Like
and here's the
three
funny thing,
perfect
right?
films.
We bring up the Lost World. The only thing scarier than them raptors in Jurassic Park was the raptors in the Lost World when it's the tall grass and
Gross.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
just
yeah.
see them cutting their way through the grass. That was some scary shit. That was wonderful. Since then, there's been nothing. I mean, there was one moment in Jurassic Park 3 where the raptor was like pretending to be in the cage in the glass, and
Hmm.
then it blinked and then went off, and I was like, wow, that was good. But really and truly, it's just like every movie you're just less and less.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty much. And look, I love the original Jurassic Parks. The
Mm.
third one was okay. Fun fact about Jurassic Park, actually, when I originally went to see it in 1993, I was 13 and my cousin was 18 at the time. She was a vegetarian, and when they fed the cow to the dinosaur, she got up and walked out and left me there on my own. Little, little fun
The little
fact,
goat.
yeah.
Dude, you
Little
know
funny
what?
little goat, yeah. The little
Oh,
goat
it
got
was the
fed,
goat or the
yeah.
cow?
Yeah.
The
Which
goat and
one?
the cow. What was first? What was the first bit? No, it was the
The
cow
first
first.
one was the
The
cow. The
cow. Yeah,
cow
she
was
got
the
up.
lowered first.
Yep, she left 13-year-old me in the cinema on my own. She was like, "I'm not watching this, Andy. I'm a vegetarian."
Dude, you know what?
What the fuck are you doing?
Compared to cinema then to now is that I
Mm,
remember when I was 11 and I saw the original Jurassic Park with my family,
yeah.
like going to the point of Milton Keynes. We queued up outside for an hour to get them tickets.
Yeah,
I miss cinema back then, man. It's
It's funny, right? Jurassic Park was the first ever live action film I ever saw in a cinema.
it's got to be one of the ones for me. I was 13 at the time,
Because
and
I
I'm trying to
literally it
think.
was Peter Pan. It was a re-release of Peter Pan,
Hmm.
and then it was Jurassic Park.
I
And
think
I
mine might have been the
remember
same. You know.
the movie scared the absolute dog shit out of
Yeah.
me, right? I didn't because I couldn't tell the difference between computer images and real. It
Mm.
was just like, oh, and it was scary. And it was scary in a good way. It was scary in the
Kids watching this one, they ain't getting scared.
yeah. I'm
Oh,
like I take my nine soon to be 9 year old niece to watch it, and she'll
yeah.
just be like, yeah, fake.
Yeah, she'd be like, "You brought me here for."
see, that's the thing. What I think ruins films and cinema. Back in social media, like back in the day when we used to watch a film and the
Yeah,
Americans used to get it, we used to get it like 8 months later, and we used to know
yeah.
this fucking nothing beats 90s cinema. It's just
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But boys, we've reviewed this one.
yeah.
It's probably been the first review that we've done where we've all just been like, "No, that was terrible."
Oh, great.
Yeah, not great. And like you said, Neil, you don't call movies shit. Well, this movie was, in my opinion. And look, John, you mentioned you were telling me today at work that your brother liked this movie. So I can't wait for him to watch this review. Make sure you send it to him when it's out.
I
I'll be
will.
interested to see it.
Yeah.
Tell him to get him to get on YouTube and drop something in the comments. It'd be really interesting. But as always, you can find our podcast, our show on YouTube. Just completed it podcast in the little search bar. You'll find the little logo behind me. Hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back next. We're back at the weekend talking about the greatest superhero of all time, Superman. Are those regular listeners to this know? I'm not sure why we're inviting Neil on this one. He's kind of like, he's a co-host, but we all
This
know the
movie better
OCC.
be good. I
Yeah,
think you guys, you lucky you lot get to see it on Tuesday, right?
90% of films
Yeah,
that come out
I
now, the
can't.
trailer's better
I
than
don't
the
want to. I don't want
film.
to say too much because we're
No.
reviewing it at the weekend. But
Yep.
the review will be out this weekend. We're waiting for all of us to see it. So Sash
Better
will
be
be
good.
on. Sash will
It
be
better
on the
be good,
reviews.
boys.
John will be on. I promise you, this movie's good. I promise you, this movie's good. But yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Like I say, we'll be back at the weekend with our Superman review, and then we'll be back next Monday for Marvelous Monday. But till next time, everybody, stay safe.